What's going on, people? Today is March 26th. It's a Sunday. It's about 10:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, and we're going to take a look at the charts and give you an idea of where I see us continuing after last week. Currently, futures are green, plus 0.37%, sitting at 4016 even, above the 08 3.618 at 3998. You had that nice pop over that level Friday, and if we look here right now, I'm on the 30-minute. Looks like we have a bit of a bull flag building with a room up to 4034.75 in this session. Yeah, we're looking good for a continuation tomorrow. I think futures will definitely retest this local resistance here, or the most local supply, above 3998 at 4034.75 and then 4057.50. Now these two levels here are the equivalent to the 0.382 and the 0.236 here on SPY, 39884 and 40169. These are the micros between the COVID 1.618 and 08 3.618. So just to reiterate, COVID 1.618 and 08 3.618 on futures is 415350 down to 3998 even. So yeah, definitely see us retesting those two levels here, somewhere between 403475 and 405750. The carryover on SPY, if you remember Friday, we bought 394 strike calls down here. We had to re-enter them. We cut for a 20% loss when it dipped back down for the intraday low. So we took that 20% loss somewhere around here, cut, and then bought this bounce off support, and we rode it for the rest of the day, and those did very well. First round went 150%. Runners went at 200%. No, I'm sorry. First round went 100%. The runners went 200%, and then I ended up selling them for 150% later on. Took my profit, and we actually saw a continuation to 396.50 in after hours. So we actually got a bigger pop than I expected. I did pick up 398 strike calls and 401 strike calls. The 398s are for March 27th. So tomorrow, that was the weekend swing. As of after hours close on Friday, those are up 30%. And then the 401 strike calls for March 31st, this upcoming Friday, as of after hours close from Friday, sit at 20% green. So we'll just continue straight into SPY. Friday was a tough day. You know, everyone was expecting this bear flag breakdown to continue, but we actually had some buyers step in and help us catch a nice wind upward. So I'm definitely looking to sell those 398 strike calls somewhere around open tomorrow. I do think 39884, this 0.236 here, is a lock to retest tomorrow. That's actually where we rejected at 11 a.m. on Thursday, sometime around 11 a.m. So that would be where I'd be looking to get rid of those, a retest of 39884, and then I'd be holding the 401 strike calls for a retest of the rejection of 40169 from Wednesday. But tomorrow has a lot of potential. You know, you have this strong signal here on the MACD on the 30-minute from Friday at around 11 o'clock a.m. You had that signal line cross. RSI broke over its 200 SMA. And then if we go to the larger time frames, we'll jump to the 2-hour. You're just getting that signal line cross on the 2-hour, and the 2-hour looks beautiful. As far as volume goes, you do have a little bit of an uptick in volume towards the end of the day on Friday. So I think buyers are going to step in tomorrow morning and help the S&P continue rising. I still have 406 strike calls expiring March 31st. They're currently down 55%. Still holding them. If we can break this resistance, the next move up is certainly to 406.92 to 406.30, this golden pocket between the code of 1.618 at 413.75 and the 08 3.618 at 39424. So I like the signal line cross here on the 2 hour. Histogram got a good pop, and this would be the next rejection zone that I would be wary of. You have a rejection here on a retest. You have this rejection on Monday, March 6th at Golden Pocket, and I think we would retest that this week, and I'd be looking to sell those 406 strike calls, for some profit ideally, but the closer it becomes to Friday without them going in the money and becoming profitable, I'll be looking to cut losses, hopefully, no more than 20%. But it's still up in the air. We got to get through this supply here. I don't think it's going to be very hard to do that. I think the momentum will continue tomorrow pretty strongly. So that's the S&P, SPY ETF, NVDA, I always say it wrong, bouncing off support here. So if I zoom out, again, we'll just recap everything quickly on NVIDIA because I can't get over it. It all started in December. Recognize that this is being a macro inverse head and shoulders forming, and this right shoulder, this bounce here at Golden Pocket between the 12.618 and 11.618 extensions. Just to reiterate, everything is derived from this price action in 1999. So I recognized this pattern playing out. I signaled for 150 strike calls, January 20th expiry. It ended up going $20 on the money to about $171.93. So we did get this right shoulder to form on NVIDIA. We retested $171.93. Did very well there. There were some more plays up here, but I can't find the tweets for them. We've been nailing NVIDIA. So yeah, very interesting price action up here. I still have one 280 strike runner on NVIDIA. It's currently up 2.8% as of Friday close on this bounce here. If we pull up the MACD on 30-minute, you're just getting that signal line cross. You're just a hair away. RSI is pointing up. Should be crossing this 200 SMA tomorrow pretty early. And I think 280.204, the price target for March, will be hit this week. So target one was off a 250 strike call signaled around here. So we'll move target one up to the 13.618 at 28204, and we'll move target two to the 0.236 between the 14 and the 13.618 extensions. Price point $316.99. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Someone, forget who, some firm upgraded their rating on NVIDIA. They gave a price target of 300. They're a little bit late to the party. Everyone's been trying to short NVIDIA, the Burge NVIDIA, as it's been nicknamed. It's pretty incredible, the price action that we've seen. And I'm very excited to see this price target hit because I was calling for this back in January, as early as January. And yeah, we'll see what happens with NVIDIA. Apple, price target one of 155.26 off a 150 strike call entry at $149.47. That was nailed, so target one nailed. Target two is $164.83 on Apple. And that's just coming off of something that I would identify as being a macro inverse head and shoulders forming as well off this breakdown. August 28th, 2022 called for 124.64 on Apple. The 6.618 extension, same Fibonacci strategy, nailed it, and we've just been on a tear ever since. So I think $164.83 is a lock, and then we'll play, the upside from there. Next level I have on my current setup is $195.94, but I actually have to revise this. This is a bit of a gap, so I think there's something wrong. I think I'm missing some level or some pull. But to reiterate the March 31st target that I've been giving since the beginning of March, $164.83. Tesla sitting at support at this 0.786 between the 7 and the 6.618 extensions. Price point 189.25. You're having a daily signal line cross on MACD. We're hoping it's not a false signal. We would like to see a continuation up to the price target for March of $220.22. Considering this an inverse head and shoulders as well. Off this breakdown, called for 108 Tesla downside back on December 1st. Bounced somewhere around 108.46. It hit a low of 101.81 actually on Friday, January 6th. Many people were calling for $90, $50, etc. But we got a nice rippy off of that 6.618. So target 2, or main target for March, I'm still waiting for 220.22 to hit on Tesla. I think this is a good buy here at $189.25. This level held really well all Friday long. If I go to the daily price action on the 1 minute, this was really strong support. So $220.22 for March. Still going to maintain that. Maybe it doesn't hit in March, but I think that is where we are headed on this inverse head and shoulders forming. Meta hitting the target for March at 206.48. Strong rejection off there. Right now I'm on the 30-minute. You have this signal line cross on Tuesday on the 30-minute. If I go to the daily, MACD is pretty close to its signal line. You are hitting this rejection point at the target for March at 206.48. As of after hours close on Friday on Meta sits at 206.30, so 18 cents away from the price target. Again, it nailed it on Friday. Get rid of this VWAP. Did it even hit it? Yeah, it hit it. So, as I said in the last video, I believe, we'll be playing upside above this and waiting for a entry after a rejection of about $223, $224. This supply here back from May 4th of 2022. So target 2 would be 257.86. The entry for that would be around $206.48, but I do want to see a retest and a rejection and then a continuation. That's what I'd be looking for an entry. Who knows what happens? Maybe it just goes on a tear as soon as it breaks the 2.618 here at 206.48. But to be safe, I'm going to be waiting for a retest of this supply here and support being established at this 2.618, 206.48. Real quick, Microsoft target is $284.84 still for March. This is looking really strong here on Microsoft. Good old Bill Gates taking some time away from flying on the Lolita Express and working on his company's stock, it looks like. So entry for, what was this signal? Entry for 260 strike calls was $248.88, and then that just got blown through. So I was looking for a retest of $264.48 down to 262 before re-entering 284s or 280 strike calls on Microsoft. but you actually caught support at this 0.786 here at $272.39. That being the 0.786 between the 2 and the 1.618 extensions from the COVID retracement. So in this case, these levels are derived from the COVID recession, depression, whatever the fuck you want to call it, this downtrend here. All the extensions are from that, and then the micros are just between those parameters. So looking strong here on the daily on Microsoft. MACD on the daily, lots of separation here with the signal line. RSI cooking, you know, about 4 points away from overbought territory, but with this signal line being so far away from the MACD line, I like a continuation without having to worry about this just fucking dying as soon as it gets into overbought territory. The last time it achieved overbought territory and had a bit of a continuation was back in October of 2021 when we hit its all-time high, $343.02. So target one, target one, 284.84 on Microsoft was my target for March. I think that's a lock. Target 2 would be this 0.236 here, which is the 0.236 between the 3 and the 2.618 from COVID. 298.57, and then look for resistance at about 294. The supply here from August of 2022 when Putin was doing his thing. Strong bounce off the 1.618, double bottom, and we've just been on a tear ever since. So Microsoft 284.84 main target, and then I'd be looking for more upside with a price target of 298.57 on Microsoft. Netflix, last but not least. We're fucking flying in this video. We're flying. Netflix, Netflix is interesting. We nailed the 300 strike puts off this rejection here at the golden pocket between the 5 and the 4.618 extensions. Those did very well. You're bouncing off this demand here on this pattern, and then you're actually rejecting here, it looks like, on the supply from December 13th, 2022. I'm on the daily now. MACD had that strong signal line cross here. Histogram's going crazy. You just had that cross on the 200 SMA on RSI. This thing might continue and retest this golden pocket at about 366.07 down to 350.91. I'd be looking for maybe another rejection there, and then a potential entry for puts. And then if you reject here, I would be playing a move down to 256.88. I wouldn't be entering puts. I'd be waiting for a bounce here and maybe another long entry to retest these lower supply zones somewhere around $300. Big psychological number. So I have this labeled as entry for calls on a potential rejection and a bounce off 256.88. 256.88 was my target downside for March. We have one more week. We'll see what happens. As far as the daily goes and the smaller time frames down to the 30-minute, it's kind of iffy. It's up in the air. I don't like this. I think this is going to reject pretty hard, and maybe hit 256.88 in March. I'm still thinking that's going to happen, but we will see. If the rest of the market does well, if the S&P does well, maybe people will start buying Netflix, and this retests 366.07 to 350.91 for the upside. It's all up in the air on Netflix. Again, I have no current play on Netflix that I'm in. I'm just observing, and I'm going to be waiting for the right entry, whether it be long down here at 256.88 or a short entry off a rejection of this golden pocket. Quick look at AMC. MACD kind of flat here. Still waiting for that. Is that the signal line? I have the wrong colors up. MACD line is, I'm going to change that to white. Let me change the color. Signal line's fine. So this looks pretty weak here. You have that big candle on Wednesday of last week. You hit a high of 475, a low of 431. Didn't even retest this golden pocket here, 520 down to 483. If I go to the 4 hour, give us a little bit more information. 4 hour, actually, you hit a high of 493 on the 4 hour at 4 p.m. it looks like. No, 4 a.m. That was pre-market. So you rejected off this golden pocket on AMC, and you came down pretty hard. You failed to break out any higher than this wick up here from Thursday 2 weeks ago. And again, this looks pretty weak. We'll go to the 30-minute. My target downside for AMC, my buy zone is 281, where we rejected before the January squeeze. So 281, November 24th of 2020, before we went down to $1 and some change, and then ripped from there. That's my buy zone. That is my target downside, and I'm biased towards the downside currently unless we regain 520 down to 483. If we fail there again, I won't be entering puts or anything. I'll just be waiting for my target downside and then buying a bunch of shares and some calls. Bull case, you need this golden pocket somewhere between 520 and 483. You need to regain it, you need it to hold, and then target upside would be $7.11 first target, and potentially a run to 1161 if you can break through that. But there is a lot of resistance at about $8.52. So I'm leaning more towards downside on AMC currently. This could turn out to be a double bottom. It'd be nice to see for the apes, but I am on the fence there. So play it by ear. You know, when moon, people, just fucking take a chill pill. We'll see what happens. And one more peek at futures before we cut this video. We're currently green 0.34%. We'll go down on a 5-minute. 5 minutes basing here. MACD on the 5-minute. Maybe a false signal line cross to the downside here. RSI seems to be wanting to cross back over its 200 SMA on the 5. Really like the 30-minute, although you do have a signal line cross here in bearish fashion on the 30-minute happening. But there's a lot of support here. Doesn't seem like it wants to go much lower than 401.450. So let's see if this holds overnight. I'm looking for 403.475 up to 405.750 on futures. 23 fucking minutes. That's a record. Let's get it. Hey, good luck tomorrow. I'll be at work. I'll be peeping my phone. My first break at 8:45. And then again, shortly after market open, I'll be looking to take profit on those 39884 or 398 strike calls, somewhere around 39884 up to 40169. Maybe I let go of the 401 strike calls, depending on what happens tomorrow morning. But the 398 strike calls that I signal for on Friday expire tomorrow. So if you're in those, make sure you take profit quickly when you can. Maybe leave a runner, but lock in those profits, take the chips off the table, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Good luck.